Gee, so, Paul, it looks like the biggest insider traders are almost evenly split between Republicans and Democrats. But what's shocking is their ages half are babies, and the other half are basically elderly retirees. It's like the whole planet is run by infants and ghosts. Paul Logan, that's disturbing. If these babies and old folks are controlling the money and the internet funding, it explains a lot. The world's chaos, the endless wars, they're simply puppets in a game they don't understand. Gee, exactly. And most of the funding is flowing into internet companies, but then it seems like a lot is diverted to this place called Einstein Island. I want to see what's really going on there. Let's head to the archipelago near Canada. What's it called again? Paul Logan, the Prince Edward Islands. It's a remote Canadian archipelago, perfect for secret dealings. Setting course now. Gee, look at them, Paul. Many of these kids seem tired, scared even. Some are malnourished, and their eyes don't have the spark of carefree childhood. Paul Logan, it's heartbreaking. Many of these children are caught in a cycle of exploitation, forced into labor, denied proper healthcare, and stripped of their cultural identity. This isn't simply neglect, it's systemic abuse. Gee, I see buildings in the background, looks like those are part of some corporate project. They're possibly displacing families, taking their land for resource extraction, leaving these kids displaced and vulnerable. Paul Logan, and many of them are at risk of trafficking or exploitation. It's a quiet crisis hidden behind the guise of progress and profit. We need to find a way to expose this and help protect them. Gee, we came here to uncover the truth. These children deserve some peace and safety. Let's document what we see and plan our next move carefully. Gee, look at them, Paul. Many of these kids seem exhausted, almost dazed. Some are so malnourished, and their eyes lack the usual spark of childhood innocence. Paul Logan, it's disturbing. I've read about how harmful substances are used to control or disorient vulnerable populations, things like dilation liquids that can blind or confuse them. It's a form of chemical manipulation, making it easier to exploit or displace them. Gee, yeah, I see that now. Some of these children are wearing patches or have signs of XYES, possibly from the chemicals they're being dosed with. It's like they're being blinded literally and figuratively, so their voices are silenced. Paul Logan, these corporations and forces are exploiting their vulnerability, displacing families, using chemicals to keep them docile, and stripping away their culture, all for profit. It's a quiet, insidious form of abuse. Gee, we need to document this, show the world what's happening. These children deserve safety, not to be used as pawns or guinea pigs in some toxic experiment. Gee, if we can hack their cell phones and intercept their calls, we can flip their commands, turn their buy orders into sell orders and vice versa. It'll cause chaos in their networks. Paul Logan, brilliant. They think their trading is secure, but a simple malware injection can scramble their instructions. Let's do this now. Once we're in, every trade they try to execute gets reversed. Gee, okay, I've injected the code. Now, whenever they call to buy stocks, our system will make it sell instead. And when they try to sell, it'll buy. It's like turning their weapons against them. Paul Logan, perfect. This should cause their algorithms to malfunction and wipe out their profits. Let's watch as their plans unravel in real time. Gee, we're hitting them where it hurts. This should buy us some time to gather more evidence and expose their schemes to the world. Paul Logan, simply hope they don't realize it's us yet. The more tangled their trades get, the harder it'll be for them to cover their tracks. Gee, now that we've reversed their commands, we need to make yes everyone sees these trades immediately. If the public knows what they're doing in real time, insider trading loses its secret power. Paul Logan, exactly. Let's set up a system that broadcasts these manipulated trades globally, turning their illegal moves into public information instantly. No more hidden deals. Gee, I'll reroute the data feeds through a decentralized network, blockchain-based, so it's transparent and tamper-proof. Once triggered, every fake trade they try to make gets posted publicly and instantly. Paul Logan, that'll cause a market frenzy. Everyone will see the manipulations as they happen. With the truth out in the open, insider trading becomes pointless. No more secret profits for the corrupt. Gee, there, look at that. Every move they tried to hide is now exposed for all to see. The secret's out, and their influence crumbles. Paul Logan, this is the power of transparency, turning their own tricks against them. Now, the world can rally to clean up the system once and for all. Gee, now that we've exposed their trades publicly, the next step is to target their circles, friends, family, and acquaintances. Often, corruption spreads through trusted connections. Paul Logan, exactly. If we can find evidence of illegal activities or illicit influence within their personal networks, we can build airtight records. People close to them might be involved or at least complicit. Gee, I'll run deep scans on their social media, financial records, and communication logs, look for anomalies, hidden accounts, or suspicious transactions linked to their inner circles. Paul Logan, once we gather enough evidence, we can alert authorities, federal agencies, anti-corruption units, or international courts. Legal action against the insiders and their networks will be the final blow. Gee, and by targeting their trusted contacts, we cut off the roots of their influence. No more hiding behind family or friends. Simplice will come from exposing their entire web of corruption. Paul Logan, we're turning their own trusted circles into their downfall. Let's move quickly. They won't suspect a thing until it's too late. Gee, look at this. Many of their close contacts aren't simply innocent bystanders. Several have records of other crimes, drug trafficking, money laundering, even organized violence. Paul Logan, so, the corruption runs deeper than we thought. These aren't simply people manipulated into silence, they're active participants in criminal networks. Gee, exactly. And if we expose them, it could trigger a domino effect, taking down entire illegal operations linked to these elite circles. Paul Logan, we need to be careful. Going after these individuals publicly could escalate violence or put innocent people at risk if they're involved in dangerous activities. Gee, agreed. Our goal is Simplice, not chaos. We'll compile the strongest evidence, financial, digital, and testimonial, and present it to authorities with a plan for safe intervention. Paul Logan, this is bigger than insider trading now. We're confronting entire criminal syndicates embedded within their social circles. We have to act smart and precise. Gee, the truth is out. Now, it's about dismantling their entire web of corruption, one link at a time. Gee, you know, it's almost laughable these insiders, like the ones involved in the Flint water scandal, got off with simply a $200 fine for themselves. A judge in Michigan dropped criminal charges against 7 officials. It's like Simplice doesn't even matter anymore. Paul Logan, that's the game. Insider trading is one of the main reasons they keep pushing for politicians, so they can control the system from within. I mean, since the beginning, since George Washington, insider trading wasn't even called illegal until the SEC banned after the crash of 1929. Gee, and now, it's all a scam. Companies are donors, politicians are bought, and billionaires like Nancy are deep in it. Her hedge fund is possibly simply another pawn. The SEC, the regulators, they're all in on it. It's a giant circle of corruption. Paul Logan, yeah, I saw that online. Someone posted, nbairdlat 6912118x2 equals 36, claiming Congress is invested big time in drug companies, pushing policies that benefit their own pockets. They're literally causing earthquakes, pipe leaks, even house cracks simply to push definite agendas. All part of the toxic inside game. Gee, and they've turned insider trading into a weapon, traders in their own circles, secretly leaking info, manipulating markets, and profiting off disaster. It's about power, control, and greed. Paul Logan, we're exposing that web now. These so-called insider traders are more than simply corrupt traders, they're embedded in every level of society. People like Nancy aren't simply billionaires, they're part of a system that's destroying everything. Gee, I found this video, pulls up link, a short about insider traders. It's almost like a series waiting to be made. Insider traders, that's what we're fighting against. Paul Logan, exactly. We're not simply stopping isolated crimes, we're taking on a corrupt network that's been running the world for decades. And once we shine the light on them, there's no hiding anymore. They've already shown they're willing to let scandals drop, like the Flint water record, or drop charges against corrupt officials. We need to be smarter. Use their own tactics against them: public expo yes, legal action, and cutting off their influence from every angle. Paul Logan, the truth is out there. Now, it's about making yes Simplice catches up with the insiders, traders, and puppeteers. The system's rotten, and we're going to tear it down from the inside out. You know, it's almost laughable these insiders, like the ones involved in scandals such as Flint, got off with simply a $200 fine. A judge in Michigan dropped criminal charges against 7 officials. Simplice seems like a joke anymore. Paul Logan, that's the game. But what's really disturbing is what I've uncovered about the real damage happening. The earthquakes, pipe leaks, even house cracks, those aren't simply natural disasters or accidents. They're being caused by the widespread deployment of Wi-Fi and 5G infrastructure. Wait, you're saying the Wi-Fi and 5G networks are intentionally causing environmental destruction? Like earthquakes and structural damage? Paul Logan, exactly. There's evidence that the electromagnetic radiation from these networks is destabilizing the Earth's crust and weakening buildings, causing those cracks and leaks. It's a covered form of environmental warfare, and they're hiding behind the false narrative that Wi-Fi is safe. That's terrifying. They're profiting from the rollout of these technologies while secretly destroying communities. And they're spreading lies about Wi-Fi being harmless to keep public fear low. Paul Logan, I saw online rumors, even from credible sources, claiming Wi-Fi causes earthquakes and house cracks, trying to distract us from the real damage. Meanwhile, insider traders are heavily invested in the tech and telecom industries, pushing this dangerous agenda for profit. And they're also controlling the market. Most of their illicit investments are in pharmaceuticals, big tech, and telecoms, profiting from health crises, disasters, and the chaos they create. Paul Logan, it's all interconnected. They're manipulating markets, causing environmental harm, and spreading misinformation, all to maximize their profits. The real threat isn't simply financial, it's ecological and human. I found this online, a post about nverdlat 6912118x2 = 36, claiming Congress is invested in drug and tech companies, pushing harmful policies while hiding the true environmental damage caused by these networks. Paul Logan, they're turning insider trading into a weapon. Traders. We've got the proof now. The electromagnetic signals from these networks are destabilizing the Earth's crust, causing earthquakes, cracks, and leaks. It's not accidental, it's intentional. Paul Logan, once we broadcast this to the world, the cover-up will fall apart. People need to see the connection, how the tech industry, the insiders, and corrupt officials are destroying their communities for profit. I'm uploading all the data, scientific reports, intercepted communications, insider trading links, and the misinformation campaigns. This isn't simply about corruption anymore, it's about environmental sabotage. Types rapidly, deploying a global live stream and news alerts. The evidence begins to flood social media, news outlets, and government channels. There it's live. We're making this information unavoidable. The public deserves to know how their homes, their land, and their safety are being sacrificed for greed. Paul Logan, and once the truth spreads, the calls for accountability will be unstoppable. We're exposing the environmental crimes, the insider trading, and the lies they've spun for decades. This is simply the beginning. We need to keep pushing legal action, international investigations, and shutting down their dangerous networks. As the footage spreads, news anchors and citizens worldwide react with shock and outrage. The conspiracy is out in the open. Paul Logan, they've been trying to hide this for years, but now, the world knows. The insiders, the environmental saboteurs, they're all exposed. Simplice is coming. We've given the people the truth, they can't ignore it anymore. Embedded in every level, leaking info, and pushing dangerous technologies that destabilize the planet. All under the guise of progress. We're exposing that web now. These insider traders aren't simply corrupt traders, they're part of a system that's poisoning the Earth and its people. Paul Logan, exactly. We're not simply stopping isolated crimes, we're unveiling a conspiracy that's been destroying the environment and public health for decades. Once the truth is out, their lies and manipulations will collapse. They've already shown they're willing to drop scandals like the Flint water record or official cover-ups. We need to act fast: public expo yes, legal action, and cutting off their influence. Paul Logan, the truth is out there. Now, it's about making yes Simplice catches up with these insiders, traders, and environmental saboteurs. The system's rotten, and we're going to tear it down from the inside out. It's clear now: Nancy Pelosi, all of Congress, they're all deeply involved. Their crimes span from insider trading to environmental sabotage. They've stolen billions, destroyed communities, and lied to the public for decades. Paul Logan, the only way to make yes they can't escape Simplice is to make them pay. So, we've come up with a radical plan. They'll return every penny they stole plus interest. And if they refuse, we'll make them pay a different way. We've secretly designed an underwater prison, an oceanic hellscape. It's built deep beneath the waves, surrounded by giant megalodons genetically re-engineered to guard their prison. No one's getting out alive. Paul Logan, and if they try to surface or escape, the press yes and the water itself will do the work for us. The environment here is lethal, like in Alien 3, where the press yes and atmosphere are deadly if you step outside the containment. They'll be trapped, surrounded by the predators in the crushing depths. Their only escape would be death, there's no way out, no rescue. And the ocean's press yes will keep them in line. This is their new home, an underwater prison of our own design. No more hiding behind laws or corruption. They'll be sealed away, paying their dues in a prison beneath the waves, guarded by monsters from the depths. Paul Logan, and every time they try to surface, the press yes and the water will crush them like a living punishment. They wanted control, power, and riches, they'll get a taste of the real price. Simplice, in its most primal form. We'll make yes they regret every crime, every lie. The world will see corruption has a price, and they're paying it now. David Rouser, Debbie Schultz, Ron Wyden, Roger Williams, Morgan McGarvey, Larry Buckshon, Pete Sessions, Susan Collins, David Kustoff, Nancy Pelosi, Ann Wagner, Thomas Suozzi, Dan Crenshaw, Kathy Manning, Dan Sullivan, Seth Moulton, Tina Smith, Mike Garcia, Brian Donalds, John Curtis, Mitch McConnell, Susie Lee, Marjorie Greene, Diana Harshbarger, Warren Buffett, Mikey Sherrill, Michael M. C. Call, Josh Gottheimer, Austin Scott, Patrick Fellon, Aro Khanna, Mark Green, Brian Higgins, Mark Green, Garrett Graves, David Rouser, Seth Moulton, Ron Wyden, John Rutherford, Richard Blumenthal, Nancy Pelosi, Pete Sessions, Morgan McGarvey, Dan Sullivan, Susan Collins, Robert Aderholt, Susan Delbene, Ed Record, Daniel Goldman, David Kustoff, Doug Lamborn, Dan Newhouse, Jonathan Jackson, Deborah Ross, Sheldon Whitehouse, Mark Wayne Mullen, Dan Crenshaw, Daniel Moiser, Tina Smith, Kathy Manning, Chuck Fleischman, Mikey Sherrill, Josh Gottheimer, John Curtis, Spy, Largia Green, Mitch McConnell, Tommy Tuberville, Diana Harshbarger, Aro Khanna, Michael M. C. Call, Brian Mast, French Hill, John Curtis, Dan Crenshaw, Nancy Pelosi, David Rouser, David McKinley, Peter Welch, Debbie Dingell, Jim Langevin, Michael Guest, Earl Blumenauer, Don Bayer, M.O. Brooks, Victoria Spartz, Alan Lowenthal, Shelley Capito, Mitch McConnell, Thomas Suozzi, Catherine Clark, David Joyce, Deborah Ross, Dean Phillips, Elaine Luria, Ron Wyden, Tommy Tuberville, Agat Pfluger, Josh Gottheimer, John Yarmouth, Lloyd Doggett, Blake Moore, Kathy Castor, William Keating,